2018-19 were released on 31st May. The first one was 7th January 2019. This one was released on 31st May 2019. Both the projections, I underline, both the projections are consistent with each other, as each of them project the nominal GDP of 211,607 crores for the year 2019-20. This is because, as compared to the economic survey, the higher GDP growth rate of 12% projected in the budget documents of 2019-20 is on a lower GDP base for 2018-19. So, why did the budget use it? Naturally, that will be the question next. Why did the budget use it? Something which is different from the economic survey. The economic survey is produced by the CEA, and the Government of India holds a respectful arm's distance with the economic survey. Please do recollect that. And why did the budget document use this figure? A lower GDP base of 2018-19 has been used in the budget documents as the same GDP base was used in the interim budget of 2019-20 projected and presented in January 2019. Remember, the figures which was used then in the budget documents were released even on 7th January, so latest. Using the same GDP base ensures comparability, budget to budget, interim and the regular. Regular with the last year regular is possible, only use comparable base. So, using the same GDP base ensures comparability of deficit ratios projected for 2019-20 in both the interim and in this July budget, and as much as what was relevant data in the last year's budget. So I hope scholars, respected honorable members of this House, who thought too many figures were floating around, would now be clear that they have reasons for being there. And it is therefore the consistency with which government's budget documents is produced, whether it's interim or the regular, as different from what is used in the economic survey. All right? So I hope members can now look at afresh. All right? So you can please look at what has been given to you officially. After this, Honorable Speaker,
दे दूंगा आपको भी एप्रोप्रिएशन बिल है माननीय सदस्य प्लीज माननीय सदस्य
I would like to request them. We have heard them very patiently, and honorable minister is replying them. They should hear, and after that, what you are disturbing is your right. Disturbing is your right. No, it is unfair. I am telling you.
प्लीज माननीय सदस्य
economic survey data of 1819 and now the normal data of 1920.
माननीय सदस्य कंटिन्यूस प्लीज माननीय सदस्य प्लीज माननीय सदस्य जब तक माननीय मंत्री बोलेंगे जी बोले आप कोई बीच में नहीं बोलेंगे आपको जो क्लियरिफिकेशन लेना मुझे बताएं मैं माननीय मंत्री जी क्लियर कराऊंगा प्लीज
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much. And I thought, even if I'm mocked at sometimes, I spoke like a teacher to a class of students. Pardon me. And even if that's not sufficient, I'm quite happy to receive members to room number 36 with due respect. Sir, quite a few members have said that central government provides funds through National Disaster Response Fund, which is a cess-based fund. Cess-based fund. is constituted under Section 46 of the Disaster Management Act of 2006. The eventual management, eventual implementation of the GST.
माननीय मंत्री जी एक मिनट माननीय सदस्य प्लीज माननीय सदस्य प्लीज सिट डाउन प्लीज माननीय सदस्य प्लीज सिट डाउन प्लीज एक मिनट सिट डाउन प्लीज सिट डाउन मैं ऐसी माननीय सदस्य मैं व्यवस्था दे रहा हूं ना माननीय सदस्य प्लीज माननीय सदस्य मैं व्यवस्था दे रहा हूं प्लीज बैठ जाइए एक बार माननीय सदस्य प्लीज बैठ जाइए आप दादा बैठ जाइए माननीय सदस्य प्लीज मैं व्यवस्था दे रहा हूं प्लीज माननीय सदस्य प्लीज अजय रंजन जी बोल रहे हैं प्लीज प्लीज माननीय सदस्य प्लीज आप माननीय सदस्य प्लीज बैठिए प्लीज माननीय सदस्य ऐसी कोई भी बात जब कार्रवाई में मेरे आएगी तो मैं निश्चित रूप से देख लूंगा माननीय
वित्त मंत्री जी की भाषण बड़ी ध्यान से सुन रहे हैं, लेकिन ध्यान से सुनने का मतलब ये नहीं कि हम एक गुमराह करें और हम गुमराह होते रहे, ये तो नहीं है। अगर कहीं हमें लगे कि आपका भाषण में कोई गुमराह करने की कोशिश हो रही है तो हम तो क्लैरिफिकेशन मांगेंगे। अगर क्लैरिफिकेशन मांगने का मतलब ये नहीं कि आप हमें कहेंगे कि आप टीचर हैं।
माननीय सदस्य प्लीज माननीय सदस्य प्लीज प्लीज मंत्री जी आप माननीय सदस्य प्लीज माननीय सदस्य आप पहली बार आए प्लीज बैठिए दादा प्लीज दादा मैं क्लियरिफिकेशन करने दूंगा बाबा बाद में मैं मौका दूंगा पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर नहीं आपको क्लियरिफिकेशन करने दूंगा माननीय सदस्य प्लीज माननीय मंत्री जी माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी माननीय सदस्य बता देना आप प्लीज सिट डाउन प्लीज माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी कंटिन्यूस माननीय सदस्य मैं आपका सबका क्लियरिफिकेशन कराऊंगा प्लीज बैठ जाए नो पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर नो अलाउ पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
कोई रिपोर्ट हो जाए माननीय मंत्री जी प्लीज
I wish to
माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी बैठ जाइए
I wish to talk.
माननीय आसन पैरों पे बैठ जाइए प्लीज आसन पैरों बैठ जाइए प्लीज बैठ जाइए आसन पैरों पे प्लीज माननीय सदस्यगण सभी माननीय सर प्लीज हाँ मैं आसन पैरों प्लीज बैठ जाइए आसन पैरों पे प्लीज बैठ जाइए प्लीज आप गौरव जी सबको प्लीज दादा प्लीज आसन पैरों पे आप वरिष्ठ सदस्य प्लीज बैठ जाइए एक बार बैठ जाइए माननीय सदस्यगण माननीय सदस्य प्लीज आसन पैरों पे मान्य सदस्यगण, मैंने आपको पूर्ण व्यवस्था दे दी थी। मैं सभी कार्रवाई को देखने के बाद सदन में जो उचित होगा उससे आपसे चर्चा करके उस कार्रवाई से उसको हटाया जाएगा। माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी, हाँ आप बोल दी, व्यवस्था दे दी ना दादा, हाँ बोल दी ना वित्त मंत्री जी।
Thank you. Sir, I talk about the central government fund. The
फिर बैठे
central
बैठे
government,
प्लीज, मान्य सदस्य,
thank you.
मान्य सदस्य प्लीज, मान्य से प्लीज प्लीज, मैंने व्यवस्था दे दी, बैठ जाए मान्य सदस्य, प्लीज प्लीज दादा प्लीज बैठ, मान्य सदस्य प्लीज बैठ जाए आप, माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी बैठे बैठे मत बोलिए, माननीय सदस्य बैठे बैठे मत बोलिए।
So the central government provides funds through the National Disaster Response Fund, which is a cess-based fund meant for providing relief of immediate nature in case of natural calamities, which is given to the states. NDRS is constituted under Section 46 of the Disaster Management Act 2005. National Calamity Contingency Duty is levied to finance the NDRF and the additional budgetary support which is provided as and when necessary. A provision also exists to encourage any person or institution to make a contribution to the NDRF. Eventual to implementation of the GST, collection on account of the NCCD, which is the National Calamity Contingency Duty, is on the lower side, and therefore gross budgetary support is being provided to supplement the requirement in this respect. In addition, funds are also allocated under the State Disaster Response Fund, which is the SDRF, as Finance Commission grants. The amount of annual contribution to the SDRF of each state for each financial year would be as recommended by the Finance Commission for its award period. The share of the central government in the SDRF shall be remitted to the state governments in 2 installments in June and December in each financial year. Normally, there arises a lot of discussion because when the amounts are due between June and December, there's this feeling that centre has not released the funds. But these are the 2 mileposts for releasing of such funds. The state government shall also transfer their contribution to the SDRF in 2 installments in June and December of the same year, provided that if the Ministry of Home Affairs, upon being satisfied that exigencies of a particular calamity so warrant, may recommend an earlier release of the central share up to 25% of the fund due to the states in the following year. So I just want to highlight that the NDRF, to meet the requirement of any natural calamities for the year 2019-20, that is the BE, is 10,000 crores for the NDRF and 10,343.85 for the SDRF. Even that has been very clearly, and the data for the amount distribution by state is also available. So I'd like to have a quick reference to what has been pestering us in the name of NPAs, non-performing assets, because that's it. Sir, the banking system in the country has been operating against very severe challenging backdrop. And that backdrop is also aggravated by the difficult global economic conditions. And that's lasted for a long period. So, it has generally adversely affected the bank's asset quality, earnings, and also capital adequacy. The problems in the banking sector have got even more aggravated due to the stressed non-performing assets, the NPAs. This was recognized, and the Reserve Bank of India in December 2015 had an asset quality review, the AQR. The primary reasons, as was recognized by the RBI's committee, are there's been a spurt of stressed assets in the recent times, and they've said, inter alia, aggressive lending practices during the downturn, some willful defaults, some loan frauds, corruption in some cases, and also the economic slowdown have all contributed to it. Systemic factors also have added to it, such as a culture of among some people, lax credit discipline, and then lack of domain expertise for loans to specialized nature, large exposure to some consortiums which have really had poor governance, non-adherence to loan covenants, and so on. So this government came up with a 4R strategy consisting of recognition of NPAs transparently, leading to resolution, the first R, recovery of value from stressed assets, the second R, recapitalizing the public sector banks, the third R, and the fourth, the reforms in public sector banks and financial ecosystem, thereby trying to reduce the NPAs in total. We also want to very clearly identify and mark what we've done in terms of bringing change in the credit culture through the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, which fundamentally changed the credit borrower relationship, taking away the control of defaulting companies from promoters or owners and debarring willful defaulters. The second is the securitization and reconstruction of financial assets and enforcement of Security Interest Act, which was also amended to make it more effective, with provision for 3 months imprisonment in case of the borrower does not provide asset details, and for the lender to get possession of the mortgaged asset within 30 days. These have been absolutely milestone of a step taken towards addressing the issue of NPA, and we strongly believe that we are not only acting from the point of view of drawing investments with newer activities, but ensuring that the NPA issue is solved in a holistic fashion. Over the last
शौकत दादा ने व्यवस्था दी थी कि मैं सदन में कभी उठकर बीच में नहीं बोलूंगा। आपने कहा था ना, सबने कहा था। तो मेरा आग्रह सदन आपका है, वित्त मंत्री जी के बाद आपका क्लेरिफिकेशन के लिए मैं आपको क्लेरिफिकेशन के लिए समय दूंगा आपका, पर बीच में नहीं। दादा प्लीज 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 बीच में नहीं दादा। माननीय आप माननीय सदस्य बैठे बैठे नहीं बोले। माननीय सदस्य, आप सबने कहा था आपका जब क्लेरिफिकेशन की आवश्यकता होगी तो मैं आपका समय दूंगा। हाँ, वो अभी मंत्री नहीं बने, माननीय सदस्य भी मंत्री नहीं बने, भगवान ने आपको मंत्री बनाया।
So over the last 5 financial years, public sector banks were recapitalized to the extent of 3,19,497 crores, with infusion of 2,52,987 crores by the government and mobilization of over 66,510 crores by the PSBs themselves. So we have ensured that we address the NPA issues so that the banking sector will not have to struggle to fund and to address newer credit requirements. So one of the major concerns, and I've heard some of the members say, not even one paragraph on agriculture has been read. No mention of agriculture has been made. I was surprised to hear this, because if anything, if I've elaborated much during my budget speech, it was for the agriculture sector, it was for farmers' welfare, it was for modernizing agriculture, it was making sure that agriculture in India gets a prominence. Now, in response to the questions which have been asked by some of the members, I'd like to just sort of put that record straight. Of course, every ministry comes up with an annual report from their ministry side to explain what exactly they have done over the year or several years. In the budget, of course, we come up with some mentions of each of the ministries. Therefore, on the agricultural subject of agriculture, understanding that there is definitely a lot of challenges in the agrarian sector, not forgetting that legacy of the past are not something that has arisen during the period of 2014-19 alone. We are looking at a comprehensive solution for agriculture-related matters. It's our government that has very early, even after taking over the responsibility in 2014, realized that the agriculture sector needs huge transformational steps. It is in this context that the Prime Minister had committed to doubling of farmers' income by 2022, and our government has developed a strategy for doubling farmers' income based on the recommendations of the Committee on Doubling Farmers' Income. So it's not as if we've just come up with a couple of schemes. This is clearly based on the recommendations given by the Committee on Doubling of Farmers' Income. And thanks to our policy, let me put some data on record. The country now produces food grains totaling 289 million tons. Horticultural export is 385 MTs, and 180 metric tons of milk is now being produced. And you know, often in this house during the question hour, several members have asked the concerned ministers, and they have said how India tops on the chart of production of vegetables, fruits, milk, and so many other agricultural products. The Universal Soil Health Card Scheme enhanced intensified coverage under the micro irrigation, particularly when we have a water problem all over the country. Micro irrigation is the way to go. Neem-coated urea have been promoted, and providing easy access to all the farmers for fertilizers has reduced the cost of cultivation. Again, something which has been repeated all the while. After 2014, we have never seen queues of farmers waiting for fertilizer. There has been no lathi charge when farmers were waiting to collect their fertilizer. Earlier, the history was when farmers went for their fertilizers, they were beaten, they were thrashed, and therefore, I like to say that our measures have made a difference to the farmers. Our new policy and the MSP, our new policy on the MSP, where under minimum 50% is added to the margin of profit on the cost of cultivation. This is something which will be of great interest to all the members of Parliament who are here today. We've often heard discussions on Swaminathan Committee. I'll come to that in a minute. With the adoption of this new MSP policy in 2018, all the commodities, I underline, all the commodities for which MSP is notified have seen a big jump in the MSPs. Every item. Earlier, we have heard only wheat and rice. There are 22 or 24 such items which are mentioned in the MSP list. We've never heard of any of them before 2014 being getting MSP. Whereas now, 2014 onwards, you have for every one of the 22 items listed, MSP being provided, MSP being given, and procurements happening on the ground. Market reforms have been our policy's cornerstone. Market reforms have been our policy's cornerstone. Some of the initiatives included building a national agricultural market through ENAM, a new market architecture consisting of GRAMs, that is, competitive wholesale markets, and agri-exports. The total in 2018 budget, we have provided for a non-budgetary corpus fund of 2,000 crores to supplement the budgetary allocations and accelerate the pace of coverage under the ENAM and the GRAM. Ministry of Commerce has also adopted an agri-export policy with targeting to double the agri-exports by 2022. So not just the farmers' income, but also agri-exports shall double by 2022 because of our policy. So if all these are reforms for agriculture, we have not forgotten the welfare measures, the measures that we need to take for the sake of the farmers. We have rolled out the PM Kisan, under which 6,000 rupees annually is transferred to every farmer, irrespective of the size of holding. This historic step, costing 87,000 crores in a year, has been enabled by this government. Everybody who talks about farmers' welfare, please note, we have not just spoken about it, we have acted on it. And this is the kind of budget that is being given for farmers' welfare. We are now working on a pension scheme for all farmers called, under the scheme called Pradhan Mantri Man Samman Yojana. And again, just to make sure that greater focus is given on risk management through crop insurance scheme, that's also being accelerated. I mentioned earlier, Speaker Sir, the National Farmers Commission, what is otherwise popularly known as Swaminathan Commission. It is our government that took it seriously and started implementing the recommendations since 2014. Of the 272 recommendations, some of the recommendations have been already implemented. The most important recommendation relates to giving the farmers 50% of the cost of production as profit margin. It is our government, again, it is our government that took the historic decision of providing a minimum of 50% as the margin of profit on the cost of production in the year 2018. So that is very important to notice that in agriculture, sir, not just one mention or one paragraph, but several instances of where the government has reached out and will reach out further for the farmers. MSPs are notified annually for Kharif and Rabi crops. Accordingly, MSPs have been notified regularly, including for Kharif 2019, which is already done. So I want also to draw your attention very quickly on the zero budget farming, on which a lot of work has started. Greater details will be shared with the respectful members of Parliament. Sir, I shall get into the details of crop insurance, but keeping the time in mind, and because I have a few more other things on agriculture, I want to draw your attention saying 5.61 crore farmers have been covered under the insurance schemes between 2018 and 19 over an area of about 30% of the gross cropped area. And we are taking steps to use spatial technology smartphones, rationalize the number of crop cutting experiments, and ensure that it is conducted in the presence of all concerned stakeholders, who are farmers, insurance agencies, the state government representatives, and the local elected representatives. All can be there when the stakeholders are invited to talk on these things. We're also planning to make the whole thing voluntary so that farmers willing to pay the premium will alone be covered under the scheme. So, on farmers, let me assure that the members' concern is well addressed, and the budget did speak quite a lot about it. So, on the expenditure, again, questions were raised. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme doesn't receive money adequately. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana doesn't receive money adequately. I'd like to address this issue. Respected Speaker. I would want to say, first of all, both the Mahatma Gandhi Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme and the PMAY are demand-driven. In 2018-19, the BE in the Mahatma Gandhi Rural Employment Guarantee was at 55,000 crores. However, depending on the demand for work, as Manrega is a demand-driven scheme, as I said that in a minute ago, the allocations were enhanced at the RE level to 61,084 crores. 61,084 crores. So compared to the BE of 2018-19 of 55,000 crore, there has been an increase of 5,000 crores in Manrega allocation. Additionality will be examined at the RE stage. In the current year's budget, in the current year, sir, Honorable Speaker, sir, if I'm being rebutted, even before hearing the whole thing, if I'm being rebutted, even before I conclude my point, I may have to add in here, sir, to say Manrega's implementation during UPA, which was criticized by the CAG, and the implementation now marks a very big difference, and that should answer the honorable member. The CAG pointed out to very big slippages, wrongdoings, wrong records, and that was a CAG report. So on the Manrega, the difference now is we are implementing it better than what was done earlier. So the additionality will be examined in the REC stage. In the current year's budget, the BE 2019-20 allocation under the Manrega in the BE 2019-20 is 60,000 crores, which is kept at a level of the interim budget. It is the same figure which was given during the interim budget presented during 2019. So this can be augmented during the RE stage. Now PMAY rural. PMAY rural. If only honorable members can hear what I would want to say. Professor Saugata Roy is very keen to know the figures, and I'm giving him the answers. I wish he hears me out. PMAYR, that is the rural. In the RE 2018-19, PMAY allocation was 19,900 crores. Additionally, extra budgetary resources, extra budgetary support of 10,668 crores was also provided. The total support thus was to the tune of 30,568 crores in 2018-19. In BE 2019-20, the budgetary support has been pegged at 19,000 crores. PMAY beneficiaries are almost being fully covered, but if required, the fund can be augmented again during the RE levels or through the EBR. Decision on the EBR is yet to be taken. I'll very quickly refer to the PMAY urban. In the RE 2018-19, PMAY allocation for urban was 6,505 crores. Additionally, EBR support of 20,000 crores was also provided. I repeat, EBR support of 20,000 crores was already provided. The total support thus was to the tune of 26,505 crores. Therefore, this implies an overall increase of about 340 crores. Sir, another issue which will really make the opposition think as to why they are today rejected by the people. I'd like to draw the attention of the entire House on inflation management. I'd like to draw the attention of the House on inflation management. In 2014-15, when we took over charge, soon after that, the CPI inflation, the consumer price index inflation, was at 5.9%. In our time, between 2014 and 19, this has come down steadily to 3% now. 3% now. And even worse, opposition will today know as to why people have rejected them. I'll give you the food inflation figure. The consumer price index. I'm sure they don't want to hear this, sir. The consumer price index for food inflation was at 6.4%. 6.4% in 2014-15. Today, it's come down to 0.3%. As of March 2019, this figure from 6.4 has come down to 0.3%. I wish the opposition hears this fact, this figure. They're always wanting figures. When I give it, they don't hear me. Sir, without taking much of your time, I wish to tell you that a quick scan of 99 schemes, all of which have implication on the common man, I can tell you the schemes in which our government has given more money. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program, 55,000 crores to 60,000 crores. Umbrella scheme for scheduled caste has seen an increase. Umbrella program for development of scheduled tribes has seen an increase. Umbrella scheme for development of minorities has seen an increase. Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana has increased. Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana amount has increased. Pradhan Mantri National Rural Drinking Water Mission amount has increased. National Health Mission amount has increased. National Program for Midday Meal in Schools has increased. Umbrella ICDS amount has increased. Mission for National Livelihood, Ajivika, amount has increased. Jobs and skill development amount has increased. Crop insurance scheme amount has increased. Distribution of pulses to states, union territories and welfare schemes amount has increased. So I would like to draw your attention, Speaker Sir, that in every one of the common man implication wala schemes, we have increased the amount. The common mobility card, model tenancy law, 3 crore retailers and small shopkeepers are all getting better benefits from us. Annual turnover being less than 1.5 crore, Pradhan Mantri Karam Yogi Mandan scheme is given to them. 1.95 crore houses are proposed to be provided to eligible beneficiaries in PMAY, Gramin for phase 2, and that will last between 2019-20 to 2021-22. The sporting envisions setting up of 100 new clusters during 2019-20, which should enable 50,000 artisans to join the economic value chain. Sir, most important, we will work with the state to ensure Har Ghar Jal, pipe to drinking water scheme for all the people to all rural households by the year 2024, and that is under the Jal Jeevan mission. Sir, it is important again to notice that 1,592 critical and overexploited blocks spread across 256 districts identified for the Jal Shakti Abhiyan will be taken up seriously by the government. So